Hi there, you two friends. I read an article about how Republican presidential candidate Rick Santorum and his wife handled the death of their child who died in the hospital shortly after birth. First, let's take a look at the article.
A dramatic moment on Monday. Rick Santorum fought back tears and his wife Karen grew misty-eyed when a voter asked them about criticism of their 1996 decision to bring home a newborn who died soon after childbirth. Santorum choked up as he described the family's decision to bring home their child Gabriel after the newborn died in the hospital. Noting that his wife worked as a neonatal nurse, Santorum said, "It was so important for the family to recognize the life of that child and for the children to know they had a brother." The exchange was prompted by a voter who said she had heard liberal Fox News commentator Alan Coles criticize the decision to bring home the child.
Earlier, as Santorum spoke, his wife Karen was heard to say, "It's so inappropriate." Santorum concluded his response by restating his commitment to pursue an anti-abortion agenda. "I will stand and fight," he said. "I will hope to be able to look into the eyes of the American public and say be more welcoming. Open up your heart to love more, to love all life."
What an awesome message from Santorum. And isn't this the type of message that the world needs right now? But due to the time we are living in, not many people will hear this message because the world is experiencing the great falling away, as mentioned in 2 Thessalonians 2:3. And one of the things I learned in a class called Of Death and Dying that I took as an undergrad is that people handle death differently. This is really a personal matter for the Santorium, and though we are entitled to our opinion, the purpose of this editorial is not to judge whether or not what the Santoriums did was right or wrong, but more so why they did what they did as it pertains to sanctity, respect, and recognition for life. One may argue here that they agree that it is wrong to murder, but they still don't see how a fetus necessarily qualifies as a human being. Perhaps God doesn't feel the same way about a very young fetus as he does an older fetus, a newborn, or a 50-year-old. It may be a different issue altogether with him. Does the Bible say anything specifically about unborn children? In Exodus 21:22, God gives a specific law regarding social order for the Israelites. He stated that if two men were fighting and hit a pregnant woman, thus causing her to give birth prematurely, they must be fined according to any damage done to the baby. The fine must be paid in relation to the amount of damage inflicted upon the child. If God would make a law specifically referring to the rights of the unborn, then surely the unborn must mean something to him. Here are some interesting facts about a fetus in the womb. Just 18 days after conception, the baby's heart begins to beat. At 6 weeks, brain waves can be measured. At 8 weeks, the vital organs are functioning and fingerprints have been formed. At 9 weeks, the unborn baby is able to feel pain. Over 700,000 abortions each year are performed after this point in the pregnancy. By the beginning of the second month, the unborn child, small as it is, has begun to look distinctly human, though the mother may not even be aware that she is pregnant. By the time the baby is 11 weeks old, he or she breathes, swallows, digests, sleeps, dreams, wakes, tastes, hears, and feels pain. Babies born prematurely can survive outside the womb as young as 20 to 25 weeks old. Yet, all that is necessary to make the baby a grown human being is already there from the moment of conception. All it needs is time to mature. God said to the prophet Jeremiah, "Before I formed you in the womb, I knew you. Before you were born, I set you apart. I appointed you as a prophet to the nations." Jeremiah 1:5. God knew this man before he was born. As he was forming in his mother's womb, God gave him his personality, talents, and temperaments. If his mother had gotten an abortion, the fetal tissue she aborted would have been a real person named Jeremiah, a mighty prophet of God and the gift of God voiced to the nation, though she would never have known. The Lord hath called me from the womb, from the bowels of my mother. Hath he made mention of my name? Isaiah 49:1. Did not he who made me in the womb did not the same one form us within our mother? Job 31:15. For you created my inmost being. You knit me together in my mother's womb. I praise you because I am fearfully and wonderfully made. Psalms 139:13 through 14. The above verses are only a sampling of the many biblical references we find to life inside the mother's womb. From them, it is clear that life begins when God creates it, not at some later point in time when it has grown to look like a newborn. God does not judge things according to the stage of development the way humans tend to. According to the above passages, even the tiniest embryo is the subject of his love and care. God sees each of our lives in the realm of our total existence, whether we are yet unborn, a young woman in the prime of her life, or an old man on his deathbed. He is patient with all of us, longing to bring each one of us into his maturity. Thanks for watching. Peace and love.